That was AFCON. That's not AFCON. It's under
2 countries in the final. We did see 2 English-speaking countries in the 3rd and 4th place. But the excitement is on.
They don't yes and do Aduma. They don't yes Aduma. All right, so we're still climaxing the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers here from the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And earlier on, a moment ago, you saw that spectacular closing ceremony with that trophy being displayed. And that is what the two teams will be battling for just a couple of minutes away from the whistle in that grand finale between Burkina Faso and then also Côte d'Ivoire. But then earlier on this evening, it was the third place playoff game for bronze between Ghana and Nigeria just getting it or stealing that one at the death, and they were able to win bronze at the expense of the Ghanaians. So third place is Nigeria, fourth place is Ghana, but then as the first and second places, that is on the line for both teams as we go into the last game of what has been a spectacular two-week tournament of youth football being displayed here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. My name is 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. Still watching Max TV, and I'm still here with Francis Blackgate Aboibo. And Aboibo, earlier on we saw that beautiful, closing, very, very short, precise closing ceremony, and it looks like we are all about wrapping up this wonderful tournament.
Yeah, we are all about wrapping up, but trust me, Josiah, if you look at the matchup, Burkina Faso versus Côte d'Ivoire, two border countries, it's not gonna be easy. They will have a crack at each other over the course of the next 90 minutes for that coveted trophy displayed beautifully there on the screen. And it's going to be an interesting game this evening here at the University of Ghana Stadium. And it's continuity as usual for the Burkinabés. The strikers they've started with up front, they've maintained the trio of them. And if you look at their team formation, it's the same 4-3-3 formation with Abdoulaye Latif, Ashraf Tapsoba and Yusuf Badra on top of the pitch. They've caused problems to the Nigerian team to the Ghanaian team in the semi-final. And this evening the coach saw nothing wrong with their play and he decided to go with continuity as usual. When it's not broken, you don't try fixing it. And in central midfield they have Sherif as well as Latif. So that tells you that with this team they already have their game plan and they are sticking to the game plan. It's the same 4-3-3 and that is what they are using. They are trying to use to conquer the tournament. And the only giant standing in front of them now is the Ivorians. And as to how the Ivorians, the game plan, they will come into this game, which is another thing altogether. Look at the Ivorians at the other side. They are coming into the game with a 4-1-2-3 formation with variations of 4-3-3. Yeah. So basically, you look at the chap in the number 19 jersey. He is Moise Dionde. Yeah. In that semi-final game against the Nigerians, he was a beast.
He was a thorn in the flesh of the Nigerians.
He basically ran them ragged. He ran over all the centre backs. He's quick, he's pacey, he can drift to the left, he can come to the right, he can come through the middle. So in him, the Burkinabe centre backs have a tall order of a player to deal with. And then at the other side, you look at Koulibaly as well. Yeah. Koulibaly was basically someone that complemented his strength on top of the pitch against the Nigerians. Yeah. And one thing about both of them is they link up well, they augment each other's strength. And when they complement each other on top of the pitch to a devastating effect, they have speed. That is one thing both players have. You look at their profile, they are products of the ASEC Mimosas Academy. So they cause problem. And the last player is Gorechi, the number 7 jersey. What a player that guy is. Very athletic. I had a friend who is a scout. He was in the stands. He scouts for Right to Dream as well as WAFU. He told me he liked that guy so much. They will try everything possible to get him on board.
But Francis, if we've spoken about how either team could break, the defense of the other side. It's been very, very, entertaining and exciting. It was a 5-goal thriller in the last game we saw in the third place playoff game. But going into this one, what are we expecting? Because Burkina Faso have only conceded 1 goal, and that came against Ghana in the semi-final. You talk about Côte d'Ivoire, who are coming into the finale after losing the first game of the tournament to Ghana by 5-1. It looks like contrasting forms over here.
Yeah, you see, don't be deceived. If you look at the form guide of the Ivorians in the competition, after they conceded 5 goals against Ghana, up to the from that game en route to the final, they are yet to concede any goal again.
Exactly. Looks like they fixed everything.
Yeah, beat Benin 1-0, beat Nigeria 1-0. So basically, these two teams that are coming to play, they don't play expansive football like that. They soak the pleasure because they have players that have speed. They can run you ragged on the counter attack. So let's look at the permutations. Are they going to stick with the same game plan? Yeah. Because if you look at what they are doing with the Burkinabés, basically They have the trio of quickest players in the competition up front.
Yeah.
In Abdullah Latif, Ashraf Tapsoba, and Yusuf Baru. In the match against Ghana, they soak the pressure. Whenever they have the counter-attack, they run Ghana down.
So that's the dressing room of the Burkina. They are the reigning champions, African champions at the under 17 level. What a team they have. They've really been superb in this particular tournament, and it's no surprise that they're already in the grand finale, playing for gold now against the Ivorians. And that's it, the dressing room of the talent of Burkina Faso. What a team they've been. They've really been solid, and that's how they arrived at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, the Burkina Faso. And they started the competition with a goalless stalemate against Nigeria. They went on to defeat Togo and Niger, and now look at where they are. It looks like they've really worked so hard to get to where they are.
Yeah, funny enough, the two teams that are playing in the final finished the group in second position. But in terms of the semi-final, they managed to beat both teams that qualified on top of both groups.
Yeah.
And if you look at this Burkina Faso team, in the game against Nigeria, it was a 0-0 stormy, but there was no dull moment in that game, Josiah.
Very physical.
Both teams
nervy
were
moment
physical.
as well.
They were aggressive in the play. They carved each other open at premium. But one thing that they did was the two defensive units of both Nigeria and the Burkina Faso basically stood tall, thwarted all the threats that were thrown at them. That was the reason why they cancelled each other out. And in central midfield, trust me.
All right, so on your screens now is also the dressing room of the
Ivorians.
The Bébé Elephant. It's not wrong to say Bébé Elephant. That's the baby elephant
Bébé
les enfants. Yeah, thanks for that correction. And there you have the warm-up sessions currently ongoing, and these players, it looks like they are really poised for it. And you know, talking about the under-17 youth level where you have the boys playing, and you look at the sort of mentality that has been displayed in this tournament, it tells you that, you know, the future of African football is quite safe.
Absolutely bright, because if this is West Africa, you know, the West Africa basically in the last 4 AFCONs have been the powerhouse of African football, because they've produced the highest number of teams in the knockout stages of the AFCON proper. And if you look at what these guys have brought on board, that tells you that the various FAs in the West African sub-region are doing some brilliant stuff.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Almost all the investors into youth football are now setting up academies across the West African coast. That tells you that they know that they can have a good breeding ground for quality talent. Look at Right to Dream. The number of players that they ship from Ghana year in, year out. They've got players scouted from Ghana, Togo, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, all coming to play through their this team. So it's by no means fluke. You look at this Ivorian team, Asec Mimosas dominates the profile of players that they have. And when they play, you could tell that these guys basically, they are young, they have energy.
You talk about the telepathy and the understanding at this level.
Team chemistry, cohesion, the patterns you want to see in youth football. Everything is there for you to see. So if you look at general play, the competitiveness of the games, and then the profile of the players speaks a lot. And that tells you that African football is on the right trajectory. The problem here for us is how agents try to move the players quicker outside. Some of them go to the major European clubs and they don't have that proper tempo, because some of them get on the bench, they don't play regularly, and then their careers just get into the doldrum, and that's the end of them. But now they are trying to hold the players 19 years, 18 years, 20 years before they ship them out, and that's the right thing. And you know, the Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden,
and cool, yeah.
Those are good breeding grounds for players in Europe to start their career, and then they can move to the mainstream. Italy, Germany, France, England, Spain to some extent. So now they are managing the players properly. But here, Josiah, one thing I can tell you is we have a blockbuster fixture on our hand this evening at the University of Ghana Stadium.
All right, so let's look at the form guide going into the finale. For Cote d'Ivoire, they only had to play 2 games. One was that humiliating defeat against Ghana in the opening fixture, but then they bounced back, and you know, they showed so much character in their second group stage game against Benin, and they had to leave it late in that one to qualify to the semis, where they beat Nigeria, where we all felt, you know, they are the favorites in that one. But then you're still watching the ongoing coverage of the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers on Max TV, and we are telecasting live from the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And the grand finale between Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast is in just some few minutes. So we'll be going for a quick break. When we are back, we just zoom straight to action and see who wears the crown at the under 17 level.
pleasant welcome once again to the University of Ghana Stadium in Accra, Ghana, as the final game of the WAFU Zone B under 17 championship between Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire. Ghana earlier lost to Nigeria in the third place playoff game by 3 goals to 2, and all is set for Burkina Faso to come up against Cote d'Ivoire. In the last edition of the competition, Burkina Faso were in the finals only to lose to Nigeria. This time the Ivorians, who also lost in the third place game to Ghana, are bent on making amends and winning the ultimate. All is set is our coverage of the WAFU Zone B Under 17 Championship on Max TV. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah 𝗭𝗢𝗡, were your commentators for this big showdown between two West African forces, Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. The baby elephants and the little stallions of Burkina are here in a battle to see who reigns West African football from Zone B. Cote d'Ivoire began the tournament in a very disappointing fashion by losing 5-1 to Ghana, but here they are fighting for the ultimate to represent Zone B at the next edition of the Total Energies African Cup of Nations Under 17. Time for the national anthem of Burkina Faso.
National du Burkina Faso.
Shall we play?
We appreciate the national anthem of Côte d'Ivoire. Maintenant, l'hymne national de la Côte d'Ivoire.
Time for the national anthem of
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final of the 2024 WAFU Zone B Under 17.
2 weeks of exciting and entertaining football competition is coming to an end tonight. That's the lineup of the Burkina Faso side. Prince Ouadraogo is the goalkeeper. Sheikh Sanogo is at right back. Sangari is at left back. Issouf Dabo, central defense, combining with Fadil Barrow. In midfield is Badra Barrow, Issouf Bara, alongside Kobana Ouattara. Tapsoba, the main man they'll be looking forward to today, is in the lineup up front alongside Mo Fofana and Latif Diaby. Burkina Faso presenting a very strong lineup for today. Coach Oscar Barrow taking no chances after eliminating the host nation from the competition. That's the lineup of the Ivorians. Yannick Kouassi is in post. Jean Maxier is a right back. Emile Zongo is a left back. Yoboy combines in central defense alongside Diarra. There's Adam Some, Diodone Diarra Sura at the right wing. Diabate, Koulibaly, Moussa Koni, and Cedric Gobeyi completing the lineup for the Ivorians this evening. The Ivorians are in their traditional orange and white jerseys. The Burkina Faso in white, green, and red this evening here in Legon, Accra, Ghana. Our referee for today is Salisu Bashir from Nigeria. He's assisted by the reigning best assistant referee in Ghana, Daniel Dolagbanu. That's the Burkina coach, Basiriki Diabate. The other assistant referee is Sakina Hamidou Alpha from Niger. Our fourth referee is Akleso Nama from Togo. All is set. Big game. These two teams have already booked their places in the next edition of the Total Energies Under-17 African Championship. They are playing for the ultimate, the trophy and the gold medal. A big game awaits us, Josiah.
Quite a lot on the line for these two sides. They've all played so well throughout the tournament. Talking about Burkina, they were so solid from the onset. After that goalless draw against Nigeria in the opening game, they bounced back stronger, won their subsequent two games in the group stages, and were also able to topple host nation Ghana. But for Cote d'Ivoire, they are deriving some inspiration from what happened to their senior side in the recently ended AFCON, where we saw Cote d'Ivoire really having a very, very shaky start to the tournament, but ended up as champions after beating Nigeria by 2-1 in the grand finale. And that's what the head coach said, that they are drawing inspiration from what the Elephants did in the AFCON. And maybe, who knows, maybe it could just go their way. But both teams have really worked hard, and we are in for a good final.
That's the kickoff. The Ivorians gets us going this evening in Legon as the finals of the WAFU B Under-17 Championship. Cote d'Ivoire with an early chance. They get an early corner under 1 minute, and the baby Elephants have a corner.
They are not short of confidence, Cote d'Ivoire. They're playing with some confidence. If you are the team that knocked out Nigeria, then you are just full of confidence.
Adama Diabate to take the corner for the Ivorians. He swings one to the far post. Heads go up. Nobody's connecting for Cote d'Ivoire, but they still have a chance to score. Burkina defend their lines well. The effort from the Ivorian Moussa Koni rises above the goalpost for the first goal kick of the evening.
Early statements from the Ivorians. They are just trying to get off the map quickly. They just want to put some fear in the defense of the Burkina Faso.
Free kick for Cote d'Ivoire.
Should also be expecting some physical contest here when these two teams play. We saw how Burkina Faso played against Ghana. So physical with that 4-4-2 flat formation. Means they have men everywhere.
Second successive finals for Burkina Faso at the WAFU Zombie Championship. They lost to Nigeria 2-1 last 2 years in Cape Coast, and this time they don't want to be pushovers against the Ivorians. Here is Diarra. Zongo, good play from the left back, but he's been dispossessed of the ball. Here is Latif Diaby for Burkina Faso. Good run from Diaby. He's aiming for a corner. He doesn't get it. It's a goal kick.
That was a great fight from Diaby, showing so much aggression and desire to win that ball, and forces the goal kick. But that's what we are going to see this evening. Both teams very hungry. Even the 50-50 balls, the desire to win it could be what makes the difference tonight in this grand finale.
The Ivorians went home empty-handed from the last competition. They were beaten 3-2 by Ghana in the third place playoff game. And this time, they are in the finals after losing 5-1 to Ghana in the opening goal. Zongo goes back to Mohamed Diarra, the centre-back. He's trying to spread it wide to the right side. Ball is cleared away by Fadil Barrow for Burkina Faso.
They're never complacent at the back. Burkina Faso always keeping it neat and tidy. They never want to complicate things for themselves. Adel Barrow at the centre back, and also Yusuf Dabo. What a pairing they've been.
Throwing for Burkina. Long ball into the Ivorian box. This could be a chance for Burkina. Latif Diaby unable to keep the ball in as the Ivorians will win the throw-in.
Whenever they are without the ball, Burkina, just look at how they just move quickly into their shape. The 4-4-2, 4 or 2 layers of 4. They're always trying to keep an eye on the closest man.
Here's the Ivorian captain. Good play from Cote d'Ivoire. Ghobei has lost possession. Throw into Burkina.
That's what they want, Burkina Faso. They feel comfortable without the ball. Just know how to play with that low block and mid block. Just sit and allow the opponent to dictate play, and they love to hit you on the break, and that's what Cote d'Ivoire should be wary of. The fast counter-attack and display from this Burkina Faso side could be their weapon.
5 minutes already under the lights in Legon. No goals between Burkina Faso and Nigeria. Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire. Nigeria just won bronze at the expense of Ghana. They already played Burkina in the opening game and it ended goalless. Sanogo. Good play from Cote d'Ivoire. Here is Koulibaly. Chance for Koulibaly. Koulibaly! He's missed from close range. That was a big chance for the Ivorian striker.
That should have been the opener. That should have been the opener. And a huge let-off for Burkina Faso. But then just look at Koulibaly. The ball ricochets off him, falls right in front of him. Just look at that run into the box. But then good challenge there from the Burkina Faso defense to put some pressure on him.
Koulibaly to his keeper. There's a foul. Diarasura brought down after that amazing run. He gets the free kick for the baby elephants.
That's what they want to do. Just try and create as many free kicks as they can get around the 18-yard box.
Zango not on the same page with Cedric Ghobei. Poor control from the Ivorian right back. So Zango is at right back and Jean-Maxé is operating from the left side. A bit of a mix-up.
They are both very effective whenever Cote d'Ivoire try to search forward, especially with Jean-Maxé playing at the left back position, such a creator and a good dribbler.
8 minutes. Burkina nil, Côte d'Ivoire nil.
It's been quite open. Burkina, they are very slow, low builders of the ball whenever they want to build the attack.
Good movement from the Burkina Faso side, but unable to control the ball into the Ivorian area. Free kick. The call came late though, but referee is convinced it's a foul on Koulibaly.
Yeah, Koulibaly, just look at that. Received double right behind him. Bit of aggression from the Burkinabe defender. They're quite built, the Burkinabe centre-back pairing of Fadil and also Yusuf Dabo.
Here is Zongo. Diarra finds Captain Yobwe. Yobwe to Diarra. Emil Zango. Here's Yannick Kwasi to Captain Yobwe. Under pressure from Burkina's Barrow. Zango. Diarra. Jean-Maxé is making the run, but ball falls down to Gobeyi. Flag was up for offside against Cedric Gobeyi.
Smart defended. That's what they are about. Burkina Faso, even without the ball, fiction.
Here is Gobeyi. Musakoni has found Zongo. Koulibaly has been very mobile. He's moved from centre forward and gone to occupy the right hand side of attack. Now he's dropping back into centre forward position. Jean-Maxé loses possession to Latif Diaby, but they are able to regain possession and start all the way from the back again, Côte d'Ivoire.
And they should be careful with the build-up. It's been slow, steady from them, but once they lose it.
Chance for Burkina Faso. Somewhere, somehow, they failed to score. Goal kick.
We're speaking about how dangerous it is with that build-up, and right after that, it's Sif just surged into the box, and that was a good challenge from Diarra, who was just tailing him right into the box. And that's one of the strength of Burkina Faso. They know how to transition quickly from defense to attack. They do that swiftly. And Côte d'Ivoire nearly paid for that one.
The long pass from Yobwe doesn't find anybody in orange.
You can see what they're doing too, trying to cut off those supplies to Koulibaly. So he really feels sometimes frustrated and isolated, and that's why he keeps dropping deeper.
Here's Gobeyi for Côte d'Ivoire. Can't get to Koulibaly with that through pass. The idea was good.
Just failed to execute that pass perfectly. You could see the run of Koulibaly already. He's trying to advance. And that's how they could break Burkina Faso, because they are so compact at the back, and you can see the spaces between two players, very tight.
Here is Yusuf Dabo, the centre-back. The poor delivery for him. He was trying to get to Abdoulaye Latif Diaby on the right side. Jean-Maxé to Yobwe. Here is the centre-back. Mohamed Diarra. Emile Zango. Back to Diarra. Switches to Jean-Maxé on the left-hand side. Cedric Gobeyi. He's got swift movements. Trying to put one through again. The target man, Koulibaly. Again, unproductive. And you can see the Burkina Faso are comfortable without the ball. All they have to do is just to cut the supplies to Koulibaly, who is sometimes forced to, drop deeper and have a feel of the ball. Great hold-up play from Juba, from Adama Some. Here is Zango to Diarra. Jean-Maxé, Yobwe. Both teams are very patient in their build-up from the back. Got ball by Adam Some. Lovely skill from Diarra Sura, but it's giving away possession. On the move now. The Burkina Faso, they've not really made inroads, but anytime they try to go, they look promising. The Ivorians will have to step up their defensive game.
And that's how they love to play. That's in their DNA. It doesn't really matter how much possession they have. They're very, very effective, Burkina Faso.
Sangare finds Sanogo. Sanogo, good work from the right back. He goes low, but intercepted by Jean-Maxé. The Ivorians will break away. Here is Diabate to Diarra Sura. Zango is making the run. Diarra Sura keeps it, but his pass is intercepted. Burkina retrieve possession. Latif Diaby. It's a side with a lot of confidence after kicking out the host nation. Diarra Sura. He's lost possession to Ouattara.
It's great tackling over there from Ouattara.
Check Sanogo. Fadel Barro, long one in. Away by Diarra for the Ivorians. Flicked on by Moussa Koni. Latif Diaby gets to Barro, his captain, and the captain for the Ivorians, Yobwe, clears the ball away.
That was a no-nonsense defended from Yobwe. Just to clear that one straight into the stands. And they know that the threat that this Burkina Faso team possesses whenever they're in transition. It's very, very quick, and you just need to keep an eye on the run of every player.
Dabo. Fadel Barro goes to the middle and finds Fofana. Fofana to check Sanogo. That Burkina Faso still hang on to possession. Here's Latif Diaby. Chance for Burkina Faso. Well defended by Côte d'Ivoire. But the referee whistles because the Ivorians have a player who got himself injured trying to stop that move by the Burkina Faso to be attended to.
That was a promising move. And Abdoulaye Latif just trying to tee up Sharif, who was approaching, and you could see that mistake over there. Just landing straight into the abdomen of the Ivorian player, who I believe is still receiving some treatment. It's been even, and you could see the strength of both teams. Côte d'Ivoire trying to be the more possessive side, Burkina Faso trying to work more on defense, cutting all supplies to Koulibaly, Yuba. And they've been just great at defending. And talking about great defenses, I think Burkina Faso still boasts of the best defense in the tournament, having only conceded one goal, and that came against Ghana in the semi-finals. What a great defense they have.
winning this competition will be very much dependent on how well they're able to defend. And for now, once the B come the team with the less goals conceded, then Côte d'Ivoire would have to play above themselves to hit the back of the net this evening in Legon.
Obviously, they have to looking at how they defend with those two layers of four, and up from those two players pressing so high up the pitch. It's just going to be difficult for Côte d'Ivoire.
Jean-Max's delivery. Here's Cédric Ghobéyi. Koulibaly, Cédric Ghobéyi, Jean-Max, good ball to Koulibaly. Ghobéyi on the left. He's got Jean-Max arriving, found by Koulibaly. Tries to take the initiative, and it's a goal kick. It looked like an Ivorian corner.
Should have been a corner to Côte d'Ivoire. That's quite unfortunate. The angle and also proximity of the referee making it very, very difficult to aid his judgment, but that was some good defending from Burkina Faso.
Diarra, he's giving the ball away. Chance for Burkina. Not a bad attempt from the Burkinabe skipper, Barrow.
That was a good ball. Again, Côte d'Ivoire losing the ball in the defensive third again in a very, very dangerous position. That was a wayward pass to no one in particular. And that press from Sharif. And that strike. But Yannick Kwasi was just covering every space he had to.
Jean-Max, it's 20 minutes under the lights in Legon. WAFU Zombie under 17 grand finale. Burkina nil, Côte d'Ivoire nil. That's a beautiful ball to the right side, but Diarra can't make contact.
That was a great hit from Yannick Kwasi. A straight diagonal pass trying to find Yasuba.
Chance for Côte d'Ivoire now. Player went down. Ghobéyi was looking for the foul. Referee was right there, didn't see anything in that. Sharif Barrow, awkward header. The foul for Côte d'Ivoire.
You can see the energy with which they are playing with Burkina Faso. Just look at that from Ashraf. Tapsoba just bundling Somi right to the turf.
Adama Somi. Musa Koni. Adama Somi turns well. Here is Mohamed Diarra. He's trying to switch to Jean-Max. Latif Diaby controls it down, but it's not been taken care of well by the Ivorian Adama Diabate.
The Burkina Faso, they are really defending well. Also, the ability to intercept those tight balls.
Here is Tapsoba, twisting and turning and losing possession in the process. Yobwe. Diarra Sura. Zango on the right, he sends the cross, taken care of by Fadil Barrow, but it's a poor clearance from the centre back.
And it's a good job from the Ivorians. They keep pushing them backwards. Just look at the defensive line of Burkina Faso. They're really making some good progress, trying to make entries into the third half. Côte d'Ivoire.
Adama Some to Yobwe. Some. Yobwe. Jean-Maxey. Very confident left back. Quick clearance. Fadil Barro in a desperate defensive approach kicks the ball out for advantage Côte d'Ivoire.
Speaking about the runs of Jean-Maxey, the left back, who loves to search for it each and every time. It looks like they are beginning to make some inroads, Côte d'Ivoire.
Adama Diabate to take the corner for Côte d'Ivoire. He swings one to the far post. There's a header, but it flies over the bar for a goal kick. That's Mohamed Diarra joining to find the opening goal for the Ivorians, but his header always rising above the goal post.
That was a leaping, thumping header from the centre back. Not the tallest of players, but he still manages to get his head onto that.
Koulibaly's back heel to Gobey, defended well by Burkina, and then equally giving the ball away after a cross for a throw into Côte d'Ivoire.
Now they are going with a full press, Côte d'Ivoire, trying to put some pressure on the defensive unit of Burkina Faso.
Adama Some, Diarra, Emil Zongo, Mohamed Diarra now. Long ball in for Gobey. Flag goes up. Decision goes against the Baby Elephants. 25 minutes. Burkina Faso 0. Côte d'Ivoire 0.
The fullbacks of Burkina Faso doing great. Sheikh Sanogo at the right hand side.
Good defending from Jean-Maxey, not only good in his overlapping and attacking duties, but defensively he looks very solid as well. Another interception from the left back.
Such a workaholic. Such a great left back, Jean-Maxey. He's been one of their best players throughout the tournament, Jean-Maxey.
Latif Diaby does well to regain possession. Good run from the Burkina Bay. Chance for Burkina Faso. And that's the opening goal. Guess who? Tabsoma opens the scoring for the Burkina Bay side. 1-0 for Burkina Faso. Ashraf Tabsoma. He's gone all the way to where the Burkina Bay fans are celebrating to join them. Good finish.
Great finish. Splendid effort from Ashraf Tabsoma. And no one was closing him down, but he had to react very quickly. Just look at that. In the split second, fight that one. But it was Abdoulaye Latif who did all the hard work at the other end. Fought to win that ball. Just plays that dangerous ball into a dangerous area where Tabsoma was quickest to react.
Great work done by Abdoulaye Latif Diaby. An amazing and relentless run. He went through 3 Ivorian bodies to get the ball into the box, and the finish was a striker's finish. 1-0 Burkina. 27 minutes under the lights in Legon. Let's see how the Ivorians react. The third and fourth place game produced 5 goals, and it was an amazing thriller. Already, the Burkina Bay have jumped into the lead here.
Could be in for a treat, but that's a deserving lead. We've spoken about the fact that Burkina Faso do not need a chunk of possession to create something up front, and we just saw that even against a run of play, they managed to get their noses in front. Very disciplined, both defensively and offensively, Burkina Faso.
Diabate, good defending from Isib Dabo. Cedric Gobey, Adama Some, Mohamed Diarra trying to find Jean Maxey. Brilliant control. He wins the decision of the referee.
𝗭𝗢𝗡, after setting up that goal, you can see him join it in defense. That's what they've been tasked to do. Once you don't have possession of the ball, then you have defending to do it. They work tirelessly, this Burkina Faso side.
Le Petit Elephant down by 1 goal. They have a free kick now. Cedric Gobey to take for the boys in orange. Swings one in the box. Defended by Burkina. Drive takes a deflection. And Côte d'Ivoire have the equalizer. Mohamed Diarra. There was a try from the midfielder Adama Some, and it took a wicked deflection of Diarra, and goalkeeper Prince Wadrago had no answers, completely beaten.
Just the right way to respond. Again, just look at that. A very weak clearance, but that long drive from distance, about 30 yards out, and that deflection. And the good thing was they tried to stay on side because the Burkina Faso defense was playing every single Ivorian player on side. Just look at that drive from Some and that wicked deflection, and the goalkeeper wasn't getting his hands on that one. That was the strike.
That's a wicked deflection, and the Burkina Faso side will feel they've been let down by some poor defensive organization, especially how they defended that free kick was where the problem started for them.
It was a very weak clearance. They could have dealt with that one better. It's still game on.
Latif Diaby, he created the first goal for Burkina Faso, but this time Jean Maxey will not be brushed over. He wins the sympathy of the referee after he was heckled countlessly by Latif Diaby.
That's the battle I believe the fans are even enjoying. Latif and also Jean Maxey.
Latif is down. I see him being held back by the assistant referee 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘.
He's up now. He's okay. 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. It still promises to be a very long night or evening for himself and also Jean Maxey.
Your boy trying to find Gobey. Header out by Sanogo. Throwing Côte d'Ivoire.
That's how they gradually push forward, Côte d'Ivoire. And just at a glance, you could see about 6-7 Ivorian shirts in the Burkina Faso box trying to attack.
The Ivorians were champions of Africa in 2013. They've been to the World Cup on 4 occasions, and their best finish at the Under-17 World Cup was a 3rd place finish back in 1987.
That's quite a long time. Early on that tackle, I believe it's Badra Barrow who gets himself booked.
Yellow card for the Burkina Faso captain Sherif Badra Barrow. Free kick for Côte d'Ivoire. Cedric Gobey to take for the Ivorians. On the left-hand side, he's going to take an in-swinger with that right foot. Gobey swings one into the box, headed away. Adama Some. Back to Yobwe. Yannick Kwasi has been brought into the picture. Adama Some trying to find Gobey. Latif Diaby loses possession. Ada Diarasura getting it wrong. Sanogo's ball in. Controlled well by Diarra. Musakoni bits into the ball. Zango's header. Flicked on by Adama Some. Good play from Abdoulaye Latif Diaby. Isif Bara trying that drive from that distance. He's got a corner after the ball struck. He got a throw, I should say, after the ball struck the Ivorian defender. Cross comes in, headed away by Yobwe. Gobey doesn't clear well. Fofana. The boys in orange will take over. It's 35 minutes. Burkina Faso 1, Côte d'Ivoire 1.
It's like the tempo of the game just increased. You can see it's quite open.
Diabati to Koulibaly. Good play from the striker. It is still Koulibaly. He goes down. No foul, no penalty. Goal kick.
Referee very close to the action. Koulibaly going head to head with Isif. Was able to shrug off that first challenge, but just went down. I believe the referee was just very close.
Lovely play from Jean-Maxey. Here is Adama Some. He goes down from the challenge of Barrow. Tapsoba was the one that went in with a strong challenge. Barrow completely nowhere near.
That was quite hard on Some. He's been great in that defensive midfield role for Côte d'Ivoire, Some.
Here is Musakoni. That's a wicked drive. He missed the post by inches. Lovely drive from the Ivorian Musakoni. He took it from just around the center circle.
Spectacular goal if that had gone in. But just look at that. Little across the center line, and he tries to catch the goalkeeper of his mark.
You must have some big confidence to be able to go that way. Cooling break, 36 minutes, now 37 in Legon. 1-1 between Burkina and Côte d'Ivoire.
What a game we've witnessed here. There's nothing short of a grand finale. So a 5-goal thriller in the third place playoff game, and this grand final has been nothing short of crunch and competitive between these two sides. That was just some good character being displayed by the Ivorians after going down and responding moments later. But Burkina Faso, they would just feel hard done by for conceding through that deflection. They are really solid in defense. They are really compact and disciplined in defense, and that's just the second time their defense has been breached in this tournament. There's still a lot to play for.
Jean-Maxey with a throw into Yobwe. Emil Zango. trying to find Koulibaly, intercepted by the big centre back Fadil Barrow. Your boy Adama Some. Musa Kone. Good play from the Ivorians. Diabate looking to find space, but ball intercepted by Issouf Bara. Free kick for Burkina Faso.
It's Diabate with that late challenge. Halting would have been a very swift counter, and I'm not surprised he's been booked. Adama Diabate. That was a strong late challenge on Mohamed Fofana.
Confirmation of Diabate's yellow card. He plays in midfield. Should be mindful of his tackles from now on. Throw in Côte d'Ivoire.
That's how they get it done in the third half. They have men who have the strength to push the ball into very dangerous areas. Burkina Faso.
$40 minutes, 5 more minutes before the break. It's 1-1 in Legon. Jean-Maxey. Mohamed Diarra for Côte d'Ivoire. You talked about the Ivorians trying to pick up some inspiration from how the Elephants lost their first game and got troubled at the African Cup before finally winning the AFCON. I tell you what, the man who guided the Ivorians to win the AFCON MS5 was at this stadium when Ghana beat Côte d'Ivoire 5-1 in the opening game of the competition. He had some words of encouragement for these boys even after losing that game. And here they are in the finals. Here is Adama Some. Diabate drives one in. No problems for goalkeeper Prince Ouedraogo.
That was a promising strike. I believe the referee will have some words with he would have some words with Koulibaly. That was a good strike.
Diarra, Adama Some, Jean-Maxey, Fofana for Burkina Faso. Goes to Fadil. Sangare. Fadil Barrow. Long ball and looking for Issouf Bara, but it's cleared away. Fofana. There's a poor pass. Côte d'Ivoire will take over now. Musa Kone to Emil Zango. Great vision to pick out Gobeyi. Great play from Gobeyi, but he's stopped by Sanogo. Throwing Côte d'Ivoire, but that was a brilliant ball from the right back, Emil Zango.
That was a great diagonal winner ball from Emil Zango at right back, just to spot Gobeyi, who had space, but for a poor first touch, could have troubled the Burkinabés.
Diarra Sura can keep the ball in across the line. Assistant referee right there. Sakina Hamidou, the Nigerian assistant referee. Mohamed Diarra, ball goes to Fofana of Burkina Faso. Côte d'Ivoire take over possession. Musa Kone, here is Diabate, but he can't get to Koulibaly. Latif Diaby have switched wings. He's gone to the left-hand side after making those runs on the right. Diabati's ball looking for 𝗭𝗢𝗓, headed down by Yusuf Dabo. Falls back to Emil Zango. Switches delightfully to the left-hand side and finds Jean Maxey. Adama Some loses possession. Here is Latif Diaby. Can't get back to his captain. Côte d'Ivoire will take possession again. Diarra Soura wants to take the initiative. Well defended by Yusuf Dabo. He wants to go forward, but it's a poor ball from the center back. Here is Connie. Now Yoboué. Jean Maxey to Cedric 𝗭𝗢𝗓. He's up against Sanogo. There's a foul against Fofana. Free kick for Côte d'Ivoire.
Mohamed Fofana should be very, very careful. That was such a very silly tackle, very challenge. Just look at that 𝗭𝗢𝗓 trying to go past it. Just look at that.
Very
catching.
reckless.
Very, very rough. Aggressive from Mohamed Fofana. Just catching the knees. Of 𝗭𝗢𝗓.
We're doing just a minute of additional time, and it's fair because we've not had many stoppages in this opening 45 minutes.
It's been very cagey, despite seeing a goal at either side. It's been very, very cagey and very tactical from both coaches. I believe 𝗭𝗢𝗓 is fine now. After suffering that reckless challenge from Mohamed Fofana.
Free kick for Côte d'Ivoire. We're into stoppage time and Côte d'Ivoire have a free kick. Kony to take it. Musa Kony swings one in. Fofana heads the ball down. Chance for Côte d'Ivoire, but Fofana will clear the ball for a corner to the Ivorians. They're trying to wrap up the first half in style, Côte d'Ivoire.
That was a timely intervention, a timely clearance from Burkina Faso. And that would have been a very, very unfortunate time to concede. Just on the stroke of halftime, and they would still have some defending to do. Perhaps the last one.
It's Diabati to take the corner for the Ivorians. He swings one to the near post, headed away by Bara. Now that's the whistle to wrap up the first half here at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. 2 goals produced in the first half. Burkina Faso were the first to score through Tapsoba, and the Ivorians responded well by equalizing through a deflected goal by Mohamed Diarra. It's been a final that have lived up to the billing in the opening 45 minutes plus 1 additional minute. WAFU Zombie and the 17 Championship Finals, halftime in Legon. Burkina Faso 1, Côte d'Ivoire 1.
WAFU Zone B on the
That's the kickoff. The Ivorians gets us going this evening in late. Good play from Côte d'Ivoire. Here is Koulibaly. Chance for Koulibaly. Koulibaly! He's missed from close range. That was a big chance for...
But then just look at Koulibaly. The ball ricochets off him, falls right in front of him. Just look at that run into the box. But then good.
Diarra, he's giving the ball away. Chance for Burkina. Not a bad attempt.
That was a good ball. Again, Côte d'Ivoire losing the ball in the defensive third again in a very, very dangerous position. That was a wayward pass to no one in particular. And that press from Sharif. And that strike.
Latif Diaby does well to regain possession. Good run from the Burkina Bay. Chance for Burkina Faso. And that's the opening goal. 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘 opens the scoring for the Burkina Bay side. 1-0 for Burkina Faso. 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. He's gone all the way to where the Burkina Bay fans are.
Great finish. Splendid effort from 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. And no one was closing him down, but he had to react very quickly. Just look at that. In the split second, fight that one.
The boys in orange swings one in the box. Defended by Burkina. Drive takes the deflection. And Côte d'Ivoire have the equalizer. Mohamed Diarra. There was a drive from... had no answers, completely beaten.
Just the right way to respond. Again, just look at that. A very weak clearance, but that long drive from distance, about 30 yards out, and that deflection. And the good thing was they tried to stay on side because the Burkina Bay defense was playing every single Ivorian player on side. Just look at that drive from Somi and that wicked deflection, and the goal getting his hands on that one. That was a strike.
Here is Moussa Kone. That's a wicked drive. He missed the post by inches. And Moussa Kone, he took it from just around the center circle.
Spectacular goal if that had gone in. Just look at that. Little across the center line and tries to catch.
Chance for Côte d'Ivoire, but Fofana will clear the ball for a corner. So now that's the whistle to wrap up the first.
WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers, where it's Burkina Faso 1, Côte d'Ivoire 1. What a thrilling first half we've encountered here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. But then we've been joined by the LOC chairman, Mr. Gideon Fosu. Mr. Gideon Fosu, welcome. How has it been? We saw that quick, precise closing ceremony. What do you have to say about that and, climaxing the occasion?
Yeah, thank you. I think that you saw it. It was very simple but very colorful, and that's what we sought to do. Of course, because of the timing for the next game, so we decided to do something very simple but very colorful as well. Yes. Yeah,
but talking about the whole organization, I think it's been a painstaking approach, yet it's been fruitful and very, very successful, hasn't it?
Yeah, so the tournament proper, I would say, has been very successful, of course, except for the fact that we didn't get our lads to even pick bronze for this tournament. I think that we've seen some good talent. The organization has been good. I think that we have to give ourselves some pat on the back and say, look, that's a good work done. Yeah.
All right, so that's the LOC chairman, Mr. Gideon Fosu. But then, second half is already upon us, so we hand over to our commentator, Nana Dakwa JC.
Welcome back for second half of this final game between Burkina Faso and Côte d'Ivoire in the WAFU Under 17 Zone B Championship. It serves as the qualifying grounds for the next edition of the Total Energies Under 17 Championship, and Burkina gets us going for second half action. Long ball, but Latif Diaby unable to get away. Yannick Kwasi's delivery. Isif Bara brought down, free kick for Burkina Faso. Fadil Barrow to take the free kick for Burkina Faso. Barrow takes it. Diarra goes down. The Ivorian goal scorer is lying in the penalty box after colliding with a Burkinabe and coming up worse. Referee's right there. He sees the player down, but Burkina's got possession. Eventually, danger is cleared by Côte d'Ivoire. Referee finally whistles for Mohamed Diarra to be attended to. That's the earlier ball floated in by Fadil Barrow. So that's the point where he got down. He collided with the Burkinabe number 10 and captain Sherif Badra Barrow. Concerns for the Ivorian centre back, but he seemed to be okay. He's been walked off the pitch by the medical team. Fadil Barrow. Good ball to find Isif Bara. Bara makes the run indeed to the Ivorian box. A chance for Burkina, but the captain Badra Barrow unable to hit the back of the net. That was a very good chance for the Burkinabe side. Fofana. Ouattara tries to fight for it. It gets to Fofana. Here's Isif Dabo to Sanogo. Sends a long one in for Tapsoba. Yobwe allows the ball to roll over, throwing Côte d'Ivoire. Burkina Faso actually represented Africa at the last edition of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, but they finished third in the group that had France, United States, and then South Korea. They only managed 3 points, and here they are looking for the second goal, and Burkina Faso are back in the lead. A double for 𝗭𝗢𝟳. Goalkeeper obviously could have done better. The ball bounced and the keeper completely beaten. It's hard to blame him, but some are thinking he could have done better. So that's the build up to the goal.
As a goalkeeping error, but just look at that. It was just a touch and a strike from distance and bounces right in front of the goalkeeper. And you'd hardly blame him for that. But then that was a good strike. The pass right up to the path of 𝗭𝗢𝟳. Just look at that. It just bounces back. He was just trying to fist or just parry that away. But what an audacious ball. You can see Yannick Kouassi feeling so disappointed.
So Burkina Faso have a striker to count on in the future. 2 goals for 𝗭𝗢𝟳 in the finals is a big deal for the young star, and I'm sure already clubs around Europe will be circling around him for his signature. Burkina Faso lead Côte d'Ivoire by 2-1 under the lights in Legon.
Still in the show, 𝗭𝗢𝟳, a proper striker's goal for the first and a lovely finish for the second as well. And you can see him chasing, trying to put some amount of pressure on the defenders as well. What a striker he is.
It's a handball against Youssouf Bara. What a way to begin the second half, Burkina Faso. They took the lead and the Ivorians equalized. It could be anybody's game. Here is Koulibaly. That effort is blocked from Kone. Yobwe. Jean-Maxé is at the top. He finds Jean-Maxé. He wants options. Comes through the middle and finds Adama Some. But Burkina will take possession and try to break away. It's a 3-on-3. Misunderstanding between the centre-back, Fadel Barro, and Youssouf Bara. The Ivorians want to turn the heat back on Burkina Faso, but ball is collected by Prince Ouedraogo.
Clear miscommunication on the part of the Burkina base. They were in a promising position, almost nearing a final third entry, but now they have some defending to do. They've been known to have a very, very solid defense, but at this point, you know that the Ivorians will be throwing everything at them for another equalizer.
Your boys ball in. An awkward header from Sangare. Diarra gets the ball into the Burkina Faso box, and Koulibaly is trying a volley that nearly troubled the Burkina Faso goalkeeper.
And then that was that ball, the volley, quite feeble.
I'm sure you didn't get it right, Koulibaly. Good defending from Youssouf Bara.
At this point, they have to be on alert.
Burkina Faso.
Just keep it simple, very tidy, neat at the back. Don't give away any cheap fouls. There's still some work to be done here the Ivorians will be hoping to dig deep. We saw them do it against Benin in their second group stage game. And maybe once more they have to do it here in the grand finale.
Good run from Jean-Maxey. The left back is showing interest in moving deep into enemy territory. He does so. Here is Diarra-Souba. A chance for Cote d'Ivoire. It is to Diarra-Souba. Diarra. Yo boy. Diabate, that's what to win the ball. Here is Diabate. Cote d'Ivoire looking for the equalizer, but players combining to lose possession, but that effort finally coming from Diarra, not really troubling the Burkina Faso team.
They're turning the heat on. La Cote d'Ivoire, they are throwing everything. You can see space has been left whenever they attack because they are desperate for the equalizer. So much space been left, and it's just up to the Burkinabés to capitalize while still defending very hard. They wouldn't be in a haste at all, Burkina Faso.
Jean-Maxey. Here is Mohamed Diarra. Is a poor pass from the centre back. Ball floated in by Fadel Barrow. Your boy trying to find Diarra-Souba.
They need to be quicker, Cote d'Ivoire. They need to play with some urgency.
Cote d'Ivoire have a corner. Nope, it's a goal kick.
That was a bit soft from Dieudonné Diarra-Souba.
Burkina Faso have a player right in the middle of the park.
I think it's got to do with a two-goal hero, Achraf Tapsoba.
Tapsoba will need some medical attention, and quickly the stretcher has been taken onto the pitch to take him off.
He's worked so hard this afternoon, Achraf Tapsoba, and his efforts has been rewarded with 2 goals already. Quite a proper striker in the next couple of years, and he just exemplifies that as a youngster.
It'll be unfortunate to have him going off. He's been the live wire for Burkina Faso. 2-goal hero going off through injury. His evening is over. Not too sure he returns to play. Dieudonné Diarra-Souba.
You can see the pressure from 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘, Ouattara. And that's what they do. Once you go past them, they apply some pressure, try to heckle you, force the mistake. Burkina Faso.
Bit of confusion between the two players. Assistant fourth referee saying it should be a throw, so that decision will reign. Musa Koni's ball, well defended by Isif Dabo. He just couldn't keep it in. Diodone Diarasuba, Zango. Your boy Adama Some. Your boy trying to find Koulibaly down the right side. Koulibaly is beaten in the air and eventually loses possession. Decision advantage. Burkina Faso and Côte d'Ivoire are preparing for 3 substitutions. That's the kind of reaction you expect when you go down and there's 30 more minutes to go. You think you've got the men who can deliver. So Koulibaly is going off for Ibrahim Dosso. Diarasuba is off for Yanis Twali. That's the confirmation of the 3rd substitution. Cedric Gobey for Swailio Bamba.
Some desperate reaction from the Ivorian head coach. Time is running out for them.
Burkina Faso, some 29 minutes away from being crowned WAFU Zombie under-17 champions. But it's all to play for between now and the 90. Foul for Côte d'Ivoire.
It's the fresh legs causing the havoc. Suali already trying to make some impact over here. And there's a clear push. Clear push from Sheikh Sanogo.
Burkina Faso have also responded to the substitutions of the Ivorians. Ibrahim Fofana is in for Latif Diaby. And Asif Koni is in for Ashraf Tapsoba, the goal scorer. Free kick delivered, headed out for a corner.
Good defended again, Burkina Faso, and that's what we could be seeing from them in the next 27 minutes or so. They will have to come up with their A game with regards to defending, because the Ivorians will be throwing quite a lot at them.
Tawali. Corner delivered. Away by Baru.
That's it. They have men. They have tall men to deal with those aerial balls, and they feel very, very comfortable if Côte d'Ivoire should go that way.
Here comes the Ivorian Adama Diabate. There's a fall in the box by Dosso. No foul. Good play from Jean-Maxé. This should be a foul. Free kick for Côte d'Ivoire.
Such a quality left back, Jean-Maxé. Calm and composed whenever he's in possession of the ball. And just look at that control down and trying to just go past two players. And that's another clear push.
Here's Adama Some. Zango drives one and is rising above the goal post. It's a goal kick.
They keep it tight. They're very, very tight at the back, allowing those spaces at all. And maybe that's what the Ivorians will have to resort to, shots from distance, and try and see if they can get something out of it. But trying to play a pass through the defense of the Burkinabe is quite difficult sometimes.
Toali doesn't get a foul. Good defending from Sanogo, and Burkina will break away. They are looking good trying to attack, but clever header back by Zango to his goalkeeper, Yannick Kwasi.
Very intelligent header from Zongo.
Good clearance by Captain Yoboy. Corner for Burkina Faso.
And that's their strength. Quick transition, and that's what we've been seeing them use against the Ivorians all evening. They know how to transition the ball quicker. They know how to transition right from defense to attack in the space of seconds. And they just feel comfortable without the ball because they know that once they have the ball and there's a fast break, they can't just hurt you. Burkina Faso.
Komana Watana to take the corner. Corner swung in by Ouattara, cleared away by Adama Diabate. Ibrahim Dosso controls, nearly lost it to Bara. Lucky to get the advantage as a throw into the baby elephants.
You can see Dosso, he's been tasked to spearhead the attack, but duty calls defensively and he has to respond without tracking back.
A reminder that Nigeria beat Ghana 3-2 in the earlier game for third place. And here we are with Burkina Faso leading Côte d'Ivoire by 2-1.
Maybe asking how Burkina Faso would have their defense breached again with the sort of defense they are putting up.
Mohamed Fofana. He eventually commits the foul. I thought he was being relentless and trying to use his strength, but referee feels there was so much aggression in it. Jean-Maxé. Emile Zango. Here is Toali. Here they go again, Burkina Faso. You see Bara. The captain was waiting for the ball. He thought he had the strength to go all by himself.
It's quite
so
livid.
He expressed frustration after the ball was taken away.
Very act.
Dosso commits himself with a throw-in against Côte d'Ivoire.
The frustrations are beginning to set in for the Ivorians. They're failing to cut open the Burkina Faso defense, and it's becoming more frustrating. And sometimes you see Dosso, who is supposed to be fed up front, dropping deeper and deeper.
Diarra's ball cleared away by Isif Dabo. Here is your boy. Adama Some. Good ball to Emil Zongo. They've lost possession. Here is the Burkina Faso captain, Badra Barrow. Zango does well to clear the ball away from the Burkina Faso number 10.
That's what they want. Relieve some pressure. Try to hold on to the ball as long as you can. Force a foul, or even a throw-in, or even a corner.
70 minutes in Legon. Burkina pushing for the third. Ouattara just unlucky. They're unable to make the right contact in that Côte d'Ivoire box, but that looked threatening for the Ivorians.
And now it's Badra Barrow, the captain, who is leading the attack after the substitution of Ashraf Tapsoba. He's a midfielder, but he's been forced to strike for them, and you can see him sometimes being far ahead of the next Burkina Faso player.
Fofana. That's great composure by Ouattara. He nearly lost the ball in a very dangerous area, but Côte d'Ivoire will still have the advantage. It's a throw-in. What a way to get the decision in favor of your side. His coach is not pleased with the manner in which he reacted, kicking the ball against the opponent to get the advantage.
Sometimes it's fair in football. You would say once they had the advantage, they'll just take it.
Ball cleared away by Isifukoni. Fofana trying to switch. Jean-Maxé miscues his header. Poor pass. Diarra. Touali. Diabate. Côte d'Ivoire moving confidently into the Burkina half. Touali. He goes down. No foul, no penalty, but he went down too easily.
It was too soft, if you should ask me. Very, very soft.
Mohamed Fofana is such a calm and composed midfielder. He knows exactly what to do with the ball. There he goes. This time he's switching to the right side. Ouattara, the giveaway possession. Here is Ibrahim Dosso up against Isif Dabo. Moussa Koni, Touali. Cleared away by Barrow. Côte d'Ivoire piling pressure on Burkina Faso to find the equalizer. Bamba. Adama Some. Here is Moussa Koni. Switches to Emmanuel Emil Zango, but Burkina will take back possession only as far as Diarra. Diarra launches a long one in. No problems for Burkina Faso. Goalkeeper makes no mistake. Prince Ouedraogo.
At this point, Burkina Faso are defending with as many as 9 players in and around the 18-yard box. That should tell you how tight that Burkina Faso defense is. Not allowing any room, not allowing any spaces at all for the Ivorians to try and penetrate. That's just some tight defense you see from Burkina Faso.
Throw into Côte d'Ivoire. 𝗭𝗢 takes it. Fofana, in an attempt to clear the ball, went down, but he doesn't get a foul.
He still remains down. Fofana, Mohamed Fofana, still on the ground. See, there was a late push on him, and also some contact with his knee. She signals to the physios.
We have about 15 more minutes to wrap up here in Legon. Côte d'Ivoire trailing Burkina Faso 2-1. The Burkinabe were first to score. The Ivorians responded back from recess. They are back in the lead with 15 more minutes to go. Another substitution for Côte d'Ivoire. Zango makes way for Doumbia.
That's an attacking change from Côte d'Ivoire.
Good run from Jean-Maxé, but he's been outnumbered. So the goalkeeper off his line wanted to catch him by surprise. Here is Doumbia's first touch. Goes to Diana. The shape of the Ivorian team has changed now. They've now gone with a 3-back, 3 in the middle, and they've pushed as many as they can forward. And this is where it can be dangerous. Chance for Burkina Faso. There's a foul and a red card. Captain of the side.
Could be dangerous.
Sharif Badra Baro.
This could be dangerous.
Goes down after the challenge from the goalkeeper. The big question is, does the referee flash his red card to him because he prevented him from an obvious goal scoring position? Yellow, lucky boy.
Yeah, and the question is, was he the last man over there? No, he wasn't the last man, so that's not a last man tackle. Maybe he prevented a clear goal scoring opportunity, but that wasn't a last man tackle because there was a last man over there.
It's a controversial decision.
Very, very controversial. The first question is, did he prevent a clear goal scoring opportunity? Yes, he did, but was he the last man?
He wasn't the last man.
He wasn't the last man.
Referee applies discretion. He doesn't take a penalty. He doesn't give him a red card.
And Kwasi Yannick should count himself very, very fortunate for not being given the matching orders.
Yannick, Kwasi, lucky not to get a red card, but they have a free kick. And I've seen Fadel Barro behind it. He's got a very powerful right foot, Fadel Barro. Barro steps forward, and Barro bends one. Goalkeeper nearly fumbled with it. Yannick Kwasi, but he makes amends. Sends the ball in, looking for his striker, Saulio Doumbia.
That was a good reaction, say Yannick Kwasi earlier on, making a mess, nearly getting himself sent off, but then making amends with that save from the free kick.
Here is 𝗭𝗢 to Doumbia. The Ivorians are charging forward in confidence. Doumbia, lovely turn. 𝗭𝗢, lovely, good skill. Diabate, goalkeeper for Burkina Faso.
And see Burkina always piling men backwards to defend, and this time it was the goalkeeper quickest to react off his line. And see two Ivorian players trying to.
Yes, the Ivorian attacker did make contact and it's taking him down.
Maybe that's where they take a breather.
There's been an intensive exchanges between these two.
Yannick Kwasi not so pleased But then that could have been just the third, and maybe the goal that puts daylight between themselves and Burkina Faso.
The build-up to the Ivorian conceding that second goal. To be fair to Yannick Kwasi, it took a wicked bounce off the turf, and it's easy to stop balls like that. But Burkina won't mind. Tabsoba takes it, and this could potentially be the winning goal for the Burkinabe.
Just had little time to react, Tabsoba, but then he just struck it cleanly. Made it very, very difficult for the goalkeeper to deal with it, Kwasi. Kwasi was thinking he could have done better on that occasion. He nearly parried that away because he made contact with the ball. That was just very, very minimal contact.
Diarra. Ibrahim Dosso is a poor touch from the striker. 80 minutes, 10 more minutes to go. Burkina Faso 10 minutes away from becoming champions of WAFU Zone B. It's interesting to see how the Ivorians have varied tactics and formation and are dictating the pace of the game and piling pressure. We saw same being done by the Elephants en route to winning the AFCON, and here the goal is a foul just outside the box. Saulio Bamba wins the free kick for Cote d'Ivoire, and it's a yellow card to the big centre back Fadel Barro of Burkina Faso.
That was a good run from Bamba. Just trying to just make entry into the 18-yard box. And it's not surprising that Fadel Barro has been booked, but they wouldn't mind. They're just very, very combative in defense, Burkina Faso.
All the Ivorians need at this point is someone who is an expert in dead ball situations. Is in a very fine position for the Ivorians to make something positive out of. Free kick Cote d'Ivoire. Ibrahim Dosso, the striker behind it. He came off the bench. If he scores, that will be a major impact he's made in the game. Free kick Cote d'Ivoire. Down by 2-1. Referee whistles. Dosso steps forward, and Dosso goes low. Intercepted by the wall.
It was smart execution, Dosso. Everyone was thinking he was going to go over the wall.
Sangare is a poor clearance. Dumbia, referee whistle is a let's call, but the foul had been committed. I'm wondering why it took him so long to whistle.
Trying to play the advantage. You can see, just look at that lovely skill. Dumbia going down. Yes, contact was made. Oh, they seem so a bit relaxed. Burkina Faso, never in a haste at all.
Barro's delivery. Headed down. Ouattara. That cross will not come in from Ouattara. Cross comes in. Chance for the third goal. Big chance missed by Asifukoni.
That would have been the third goal because he was onside. Just look at that. That was a lovely ball to the box, and he made the right connection. He lacked precision.
In their bid to find the equalizer, the leaving spaces behind them, which can be exploited by the Burkinabe. And yes, Jean-Maxey, the left back, has been enterprising in this tournament, but he's lost possession this time. He was waiting for the referee's whistle.
He's played more as a left winger than a left back in the second half, Jean-Maxey.
Ball delivered into the Burkina box, headed down by Asif Dabo. Cleared eventually by Sheikh Sanogo. Musakoni, long switch to Doumbia. Doumbia controls, but it's a poor first touch from Doumbia. Sangare is galloping forward. The left back is showing desire, and this is a foul, and it would attract a yellow card.
They're enjoying it, Burkina Faso. Because it looks like the Ivorians are playing right into their hands. Those fast breaks, just look at that. Nicks the ball. And then tries to stay on his feet, but that challenge would definitely send him down. And what a surging run that was.
Yanis Twali will get a yellow card for this tackle on the left back. Sangare. Confirmation of Twali's yellow card. Another change for Cote d'Ivoire. Diabate goes off for Abubakar Fofana. Diabate, he's had a decent game, to be fair to him.
He's not been bad. He's had an impressive game. Unfortunately, his side still chasing the game. He had to be sacrificed.
Fadil Barrow goes for goal at the near post, and it's disappointing. It goes out for a goal kick.
That wasn't a bad attempt at all from the centre back, Fadil Barrow. Can see again the Burkinabe organizing themselves so well, making it so difficult for Cote d'Ivoire to penetrate. Just don't stop running, Burkina Faso.
86 minutes and counting down to 90. Burkina Faso 2, Cote d'Ivoire 1. Lovely turnaround by Fofana. Very skillful player, wondering why he kept so long on the bench. Here's Twali. Now Doumbia. Good play from the Ivorians. Here comes Bamba. Corner for Cote d'Ivoire. I think it's a throw. Yes, it is a throw for Cote d'Ivoire.
That was a good block from Yusuf Sangare. It's been unplayable at left back, but you can see the number of Ivorian sheds in the half of the Burkinabes.
Cote d'Ivoire desperately looking for the equalizer. Burkina jealously protecting their lead, and there's a foul and a good decision. He's apologetic and he shows remorse, Diarra.
And that would just buy them some time, Burkina Faso. That was a good first touch, the header. Just look at that. Trying to move away, Sheikh Fofana. He was just brought down.
Another change for Burkina Faso. Isif Bara is making way for Abubakar Sawadogo. Two more minutes to go.
They really fought so hard. Burkina Faso made some right decisions down the line, down the stretch. And they still have some defending to do.
It's not over for Burkina yet. They still want to create chances. That's a lovely hit and an amazing goal from Sawadogo. That's a brilliant finish. He makes an instant impact, and Burkina Faso have doubled their lead with a world-class finish from the number 9 who just stepped off the bench. Great goal by Abubakar Sawadogo. Brilliant finish, world-class.
And that was just with his first touch since coming on. He's been on the pitch for barely a minute. And a great way to seal the win for Burkina Faso. Just look at that. Cleanly struck, coming off the post. Just didn't want to take any chances at all. Just a hit.
Top quality.
And just look at that. The fans are going wild.
And that's the celebration to go with it.
The fans are going wild, and someone will have to polish those boots.
He duly deserves it.
Wow, what a goal from the substitute.
And Burkina Faso have just put the icing on the cake. That goal that gives you assurance that the title could be heading to Ouagadougou. Anywhere would do this time.
At this point, anywhere would just do for them, and they just have to keep their calmness and composure for the remaining seconds of this game. Spoken about how they've worked as a unit defensively, and it's just paid off. They're tactically disciplined, Burkina Faso.
3 additional minutes. Free kick for Burkina Faso.
And that's just to the displeasure of the Ivorians. They think they should be having the free kick rather. And just look at that. That was a chip. That was a 50-50 call.
Almost found the 4th goal, Burkina Faso. I told you they were not finished yet.
They are not done yet.
Over.
And everything they are touching seems to turn into gold.
Asifu Koni. Good run from Koni. Goes down. He wins the free kick. I tell you what, those substitutions by Coach Oscar Barrow seem to have changed the complexion of the game for Burkina Faso. They've done extremely well. Those players he introduced seem to have taken over the game, and the reason they are leading 3-1 at this point.
That's how you win the game down the stretch, and the adjustments for me has been top-notch from the head coach, and they want to finish this game on a high. Just look at the confidence and the energy with which they are playing with, and you can hardly tell they are 3-1 up. It looks like they are rather chasing the game.
Yes, they are. That's the hallmark of a top team, and the captain has led by example. He wasn't really in his elements in the first half, but the moment Tabsoba went off, he decided to take responsibility, and he's done extremely well. Here is Sangare. Ibrahim Dosso, he's barely made an impact since arriving from the bench. Dosso, good play from the striker. Work down 0. He gives it away, throwing Burkina Faso.
There's the press from Burkina Faso. They make life unbearable for you when you're on the ball. You can see about 3 players surrounding Dosso. Once he was in possession, just beat one marker, there's the next one to go past, making it so difficult.
Here is Dosso trying to cut back, throwing for Côte d'Ivoire. Here is Fofana, sends in a cross, cleared away by Isif Dabo. Dosso, DRS, effort doesn't travel far. Here is Bamba, twisting and turning. Bamba, he does so to find Fofana, but the ball is cleared away. All eyes on referee Salisu Bashir, and that's the final whistle. Burkina Faso are champions of the WAFU Under-17 Championship. An emphatic victory over Côte d'Ivoire in the finals. 3-1 victory is no mean feat. Burkina came, they saw, and they've conquered. They'll go into the Total Energies under 17 AFCON as champions of West Africa Zone B. What a game we witnessed, Josiah.
It was duly deserved, Nana Dankwa JC. What a game we just witnessed. It was a flurry of goals, but it was quite a dominant display defensively from Burkina Faso, and they showed you that that's their strength. They rely on their defense, and as the saying goes, defense wins you titles, and you can see that they gave everything from minute 1 to minute 90, and these young lads deserve it. And just look at the fans in the stands cheering these boys on. They've worked so hard after that 0-0 stalemate in their first game against Nigeria. They bounced back with wins over Niger and Togo. They saw off Ghana, the host nation. There was no fluke that they were able to beat these top giants on their way to the title. It's duly deserved, and they've played some exciting football.
Last 2 years, they were beaten 2-1 by Nigeria in the finals in Cape Coast. 2 years down the line, they've won the trophy in Legon by the margin by which they lost that game to Nigeria. What a way to win the trophy after losing it 2 years ago.
It tells you that they went back to the drawing board to rectify all the mistakes, and that's what you do when you keep, learning from your mistakes. And they've been consistent. They've been very, very consistent. They are yet to lose a game. Their worst outcome in any game at all was that draw, and just look at that. I believe that when you consistently try to rectify the errors, you try to improve, then you are destined to achieve quite a lot, and that's what we are seeing from Burkina Faso, and the celebrations will just keep going on and on until they return back to Ouagadougou, the capital.
The Ivorians are inconsolable, but the Burkinabés are on cloud 9. Wild jubilations. They've gone on to those fans in the green stands, and they're enjoying themselves.
And ironically, look at the stands, and you had the Ivorians at the other side and the Burkinabés at the other side. So I think the team dominated would be the loudest.
That's the glittering trophy. Burkinabés will be laying their hands on the trophy anytime soon. These are the dejected Ivorian fans. The fans in orange are the most disappointed ones this evening, and those in green red are the ones ecstatic. Champions of West Africa Zone B, Burkina Faso. The Ivorians can't stop shedding tears. It's been 2 weeks of exciting and entertaining football. I tell you what, these crop of players will be the next generation of African football. So you better keep an eye on some of them. We've had some brilliant players gracing this competition. Ghana's Mac Mensah, the likes of Diabate, Doumbia, Adeleke, they've all been brilliant for their respective countries. But it's the Burkinabés who have reigned supreme after 2 weeks of entertaining football here in Legon. It's the little stallions of Burkina Faso who have emerged champions of West Africa Zone B. Very soon will be the medal and trophy presentation ceremony. Nigeria for bronze, Côte d'Ivoire for silver, Burkina Faso for gold. Two goals from Tapsoba, one from Sawadogo, condemning the Ivorians to a 3-1 defeat after Diarra had gotten them the equalizer before the break. Burkina Faso responded very well after the break, and they came to score 2 more goals, one deep into the end of the game and one right after restart of the second half. So they went for it and they deserve to be champions. Burkina 3, Côte d'Ivoire 1.
Pour la cérémonie de remise des médias. On commence premièrement avec 3e place, c'est l'équipe Nigeria.
Burkina Faso came, they saw and they've conquered. They are champions of WAFU Zone B. Full time. Burkina Faso 3, Côte d'Ivoire 1. While your commentators for this big showdown between two West African forces. Côte d'Ivoire. That's the kickoff. The Ivorians gets us going this evening in late. Chance for Koulibaly. Koulibaly! He's missed from close range. That was a big chance for.
But then just look at Koulibaly. The ball ricochets off him, falls right in front
Once
of
again,
him.
ladies and gentlemen, so
Just look at that run into the box. But then good.
Diarra is giving the ball away. Chance for Burkina. Not a bad attempt.
That was a good ball. Again, Côte d'Ivoire losing the ball in the defensive third again in a very, very dangerous position. That was a wayward pass to no one in particular. And that press from Sharif. And that strike.
Latif Diaby does well to regain possession. Good run from the Burkina Bay. Chance for Burkina Faso. And that's the opening goal. Kesu Tapsoma opens the scoring for the Burkina Bay side. 1-0 for Burkina Faso. Ashraf Tapsoma. He's gone all the way to where the Burkina Bay fans are.
Great finish. Splendid effort from Ashraf Tapsoma. And no one was closing him down, but he had to react very quickly. Just look at that. In the split second, fight that one.
The boys in orange swings one in the box. Defended by Burkina. Drive takes a deflection. And Côte d'Ivoire have the equalizer. Mohamed Diarra. There was a drive from. Had no answers, completely beaten.
Just the right way to respond. Again, just look at that. A very weak clearance. But that long drive from distance, about 30 yards out, and that deflection. And the good thing was they tried to stay onside because the Burkina Bay defense was playing every single Ivorian player onside. Just look at that drive from Somi and that wicked deflection, and the goal getting his hands on that one. That was a strike.
Here is Musa Kone. That's a wicked drive. He missed the post by inches. And Musa Kone, he took it from just around the center circle.
Spectacular goal if that had gone in. But just look at that. Little across the center line, and he tries to catch.
Chance for Côte d'Ivoire, but Fofana will clear the ball for a corner. Today, now that's the whistle to wrap up the first
de la Côte d'Ivoire.
Under 17 championship.
Ladies and gentlemen,
gets us going for second half action. Long ball, but that's good ball to find Isif Bara. Bara makes the run to the Ivorian, but a chance for Burkina, but the captain Badra Barrow on the World Cup, but they finished third in the group that had France, United States, and then South Korea. They only managed 3 points, and here they are looking for the second goal, and Burkina Faso are back in the lead. A double for Tapsoma. Goalkeeper obviously could have done better. The ball bounced and the keeper completely beaten. It's hard to blame him.
And they still have some defending to do.
It's not over for Burkina yet. They still want to create chances. That's a lovely hit and an amazing goal from Sawadogo. That's a brilliant finish. He makes an instant impact, and Burkina Faso
trophy, the WAFU Zone B under 17 AFCON qualifiers hosted by Ghana. And that's the trophy. At the end of 90 minutes in the grand finale, it was Burkina Faso that edged Côte d'Ivoire by 3-1. What a thrilling game witnessed here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. These two young lads training at each other, but then at the end of the day, it was the Burkina Faso that stood tall. They are the reigning African champions at the under 17 level, and they came here and they left a mark as well. Francis.
Well, if you look at what they brought on board in this particular tournament, they deserve to win the tournament because they consider the least number of goals in the competition. And if you look at how they shape up to play in terms of team organization, in terms of discipline, in terms of tactical formation, everything paid off. And if you look at this team, it doesn't look like just an ordinary team. It looks like a proper drilled team. And in my eyes, by far, the final match really lived up to the billing. And the better side won the competition, Josiah.
So we saw the third place game being played earlier on this afternoon between Nigeria and also the Black Starlets, where it was a 5-goal thriller, but then it was Nigeria that showed so much character and tenacity, and they were able to edge Ghana at the 90th minute, and it was almost full time in that one. And Nigeria, they are walking back home with a bronze medal.
Well, Nigeria, they deserve to take the bronze medal home based on how they managed the game against Ghana in the third place playoff.
So
game.
that's the dignitaries led by the president of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. 𝗭𝗢𝗘, and other CAF dignitaries walking to the podium to do the presentation. That's a long line of some influential people as far as African football is concerned, and it's led by President Edwin Simon 𝗭𝗢𝗘, the president of the Ghana Football Association. Back to the point you were making, Nigeria beating Ghana to bronze earlier on, and also Burkina Faso reigning supreme after the tournament came to a closure.
Yeah, the way the Burkina Faso play throughout the entire tournament, they start with the same team formation. They stuck with almost the same players, and up front, Tapsoba, Sheriff, and Barry have been brilliant for them throughout the entire course of the tournament.
All right, so the medal presentation will start with that of the officials, and they would line up and take their medals. But the individual awards ongoing first, and I can see Some over there. And we'll be getting the clarification as to what award he is walking home with. But you can see the number 15 shirted player. He played as a defensive midfielder for Ivory Coast throughout the tournament. What a player he is.
Very exciting player from the ASEC Mimosas Academy.
Congratulations there.
And he was the heartbeat. He was at the heart of everything that this Burkina Faso team did. I'm not sure he's on the podium winning something, an individual award. He has been brilliant for the Ivorians. If you look at him, very young chap, a good one for the future as well.
So there they go, the club officials. They really officiated at a very top level, despite the fact that it's a youth tournament. We saw some high level officiating in this tournament. You can see the center referee and other officials receiving their medals for participating in this historic tournament.
Well, I think in terms of officiating in the tournament, without VAR, they've tried their best. On one or two occasions, people might fume or feel like they didn't get it wrong. But in entirety, I'll give, in terms of officiating, I would say they'll be fairly decent. 80% for me, Josiah, throughout the course of the tournament.
Yeah, so the officials received their medals for participating in the WAFU Zone B under 17 AFCON qualifiers hosted here in Ghana. 7 teams converged here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. And what a spectacle it was. And there goes the bronze medalist, Nigeria. What a tournament they also had. They started up with their opening game against Burkina Faso. It was a goalless stalemate. They continued with wins over Niger and also Togo. They tamped Togo by 3-0. But then, unfortunately, they lost to Côte d'Ivoire in the semi-final. But they redeemed themselves, and per what we are hearing, they have booked a place in the next under-17 AFCON tournament.
Well, they did themselves good by keeping their composure and discipline, focus. In terms of, some teams, when they lose the final, they don't really psych themselves to play the third place match. But they knew that the least they can get from this particular competition is to qualify for the AFCON proper, and they managed to do that against Ghana. They dug deep. They were on the ropes against Ghana in the third place during some durations of the game. But where it mattered most, right at the death, they managed to get that odd positive goal to beat Ghana by 3-2. So I think the main motive of this tournament for them is to qualify for the AFCON. So if they are able to pick that slot, hey, they've achieved the ultimate target.
So we are talking about 5-time world champions at the under-17 level. That's the Golden Eaglet of Nigeria. Quite a lot is expected of them because they have really raised some of the big players we've seen around the African continent from Nigeria, and that is the bronze medalist. But it's time for the silver medalist, the 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘 of Côte d'Ivoire, and the champions will just give them that guard of honor for them to receive their medals. They've still played some exciting football, and they really gave a good account of themselves despite that thumping defeat at the hands of the host nation. They came back, they recovered strongly, and they put up a good fight.
They've done the most important thing, that's picking up a slot at the AFCON so that they can have a crack in terms of qualification to the World Cup proper. They are gallant losers. They played out a perfect game throughout the entire tournament. In Ghana, they got beat.
So in your shots is Nigeria, the second runner-ups, the bronze medalist. They beat Ghana earlier on today by 3-2 to win bronze and qualify for the next under-17 AFCON. Nigeria, what a team and what a tournament they've had, and I'm sure they really enjoyed this tournament, and they enjoyed Ghana as well.
They enjoyed it. They play some great football. They look like I was talking about the Ivorian team. For you to get a thrashing 5-1, and for you to come back to win against Benin, get into the semi-final to defeat Nigeria, the defending champions of this competition, and the way they came up against Burkina Faso, they played some exciting patterns, exciting football. They went down, they equalized, then they conceded, and from there they tried as much as they could to equalize, but at the death, Burkina Faso had that extra energy and that extra motivation where they came up on top to score deep into stoppage time to kill off the game by 3-1. They are gallant losers, and I think the FA president and the entire people of Ivory Coast will be proud of their achievement here in Ghana.
This is not the time for the Ivorians to feel dejected. They should be proud of themselves. They put up a good show in the grand finale, but unfortunately they lost to a better Burkina Faso side. But you can see them posing, these young lads. Hopefully Ivorians back home will be hoping that this would be the next set of 𝗨𝟐𝟓 they would be seeing in the next 5-6 years. They'll be hoping that they will follow a very, authentic developmental route to progress into some of the finest players we've seen. And there you have them, the first runner-up, La Côte d'Ivoire, but then it's time for the champions, and there they line up. The gold medalists are the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers, Burkina Faso. What a tournament they've had. They only drew one game, and that was the opening game against Nigeria here. A 0-0 draw. They beat Niger, they beat Togo, they beat host Ghana. They got the better of Ivory Coast, and they are champions of the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers, Burkina Faso.
They have a mix of everything that you look at in football, in terms of toughness, in terms of team chemistry, in terms of vision, what they set out to achieve, in terms of patterns. They've achieved everything here. That's the reason why they are walking away as the champions of the WAFU Zone B AFCON under 17 qualifiers champions. And you can't begrudge them. They played very well, and it's beautiful to see these young chaps give out everything out there on the pitch. Against Ghana, they played a perfect match. And in the final against their border neighbors, Côte d'Ivoire, they stepped up and duly delivered. Trust me, Tapsoba, Sherif, and Badra, the chaps spotted in number 7 jersey, has been brilliant for them in the entire tournament.
Proud champions, Burkina Faso, holders of the under-17 AFCON. They have taken their medals, and the trophy will be presented to them. But then that's the man, the captain, who will be presented with a trophy, and he gets a hug from the president of the Ghana Football Association, Edwin Simon Ketokreku, and he's been handed a trophy, and he will just walk diligently and gallantly towards the team, and they are going to celebrate throughout the night. The party will continue, and there you have it, the champions of the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers, Burkina Faso. It seemed to be a challenging tournament for them when they drew against Nigeria in the opening game, but they went back to the drawing board. They corrected all the wrongs, and since then they never put a foot wrong, and the WAFU Zone B have got their champions now. Well-deserved champions, Burkina Faso.
Well-deserved champions, Josiah. They played very well. They deserve this. The MC should play music for them to enjoy. They deserve
and
the
that's
moment.
it, the celebrations begin. And just look at that.
Look at
these young
FA president.
lads. And that's one thing about being a young lad. You are being taught how to win. And at this stage, I believe that these players have exhibited the winning mentality. They've exhibited how to win games, even if they have to do it the hard way. And just look at that. And the captain, the pose, and he'll go back with a trophy. There you have him to your extreme right, the LOC chairman, Mr. Gideon Ofosu. And there you have it. They will pose with the dignitaries, and you can't fault them. They've worked so hard. They had the best defense in the tournament for any team that advanced to the knockout stages. They saw host nation Ghana. They saw Côte d'Ivoire.
You see, I'm looking at the FA president.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy. Whenever they play and things are not going, he comes down from the directed box and shouts instructions out there to the coaches. In this game, around 70th minute, he came out to tell them, "Les fatigués." So they should do substitutions.
Because they were playing with tight legs. You could see it was evident.
And when they do the substitutions, the number 9 stepped out and scored the goal that killed off the game.
That's the impact of, you know, bringing in fresh limbs sometimes, you know, in very cagey games like this when the going gets tough. They were leading, but they were just hanging on a thread, and they needed an icing on the cake, and that was what they got in the substitution.
Yeah, that's what they got, and I wonder at this particular point in time, the DJ should play music for these young boys to enjoy themselves.
They're still enjoying it, but
I don't know why they are not playing the music.
The journey is still not done.
They deserve the music. The DJ should play the. It's party
They'll
time.
still dance. Just
There's no party without music.
The dancing is going on.
I want to see the Shiva.
The dancing is still going on. These young lads could dance all night if they are permitted to. And just look at the 2-goal hero over there. That's Tapsoba Ashraf.
The DJ, there can't be a party without music.
The captain is also there.
We need the music.
They would get the music, but Francis, it's not done over here. This is just, you know, the WAFU Zone B championship. Now they move to the AFCON proper, and there could also be the Under-17 World Cup on the line for these young lads, and I believe the expectations will be very, very high.
They are the defending champions of the AFCON proper.
Yeah.
They are the defending champions of the AFCON proper. So you understand. It's a team that they are starting all over again. It's a break. This is what I want to see. I want to see them dance. You know, when they beat Ghana and they did the dance, it was bittersweet memories. Look at this.
You worked so hard.
All over here from the Ghana.
She looks like a sole supporter in the stands. One woman supporter in the stands. But it has been a thrilling and an eventful tournament here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It was the WAFU Zone B and the 17 AFCON qualifiers that started from the 15th of May, and today, 28th May, we have climaxed it, and we have our champions, Burkina Faso. Quickly, Francis Aboibo Blackgate, what do you have to say about the tournament?
The tournament has been brilliant. We've enjoyed the tournament, and I hope the next edition will get better. But hey, Josiah, I will not sign out without saying good evening to my boss in the Volta region, Mr. Joe Ivor, aka Apeloto. He's the bank ruler of Home Stars Football Club. And I would like to say good evening to Mr. Sule Adamu, the coach of Home Stars as well. And to my good friend, Emil Atando, he's the administrator for Home Stars Football Club as well. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on weekend in Tema when we play against Nagod FC on Sunday.
The celebrations still continue, but it has been an exciting tournament, and we brought you nothing but the best of youth football from the WAFU Zone B under 17 AFCON qualifiers here from the University of Ghana. We've been transmitting live on Max TV, and we've brought you some exciting games. Today it was a double-header. Nigeria edging Ghana earlier in the first game in the third place playoff game for bronze, where Nigeria won by 3-2. And moments ago, it was Burkina Faso that have been crowned champions in Zone B of the WAFU and the 17 AFCON qualifiers. My name is 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. I've been your host, and I was joined by Francis Blackgate Aboibo as my analyst. He also did a great job at it. It's been wonderful this past few weeks, and it's been nice having you for the under 17 WAFU Zone B AFCON qualifiers. And that's where we draw the curtains. And we wish all Ghanaians and West Africans and Africans at large a good night.
Bye-bye, au revoir.
Bye-bye.